Welcome friends. Today we will learn the differences between 32-bit and a 64-bit processor. Myself, I am Vital from VR4U Tutorials. Basically, this is one of the fundamental questions asked in the interviews, and many people find problem while purchasing their personal computers and lappies. So here is the answer for all the questions. The first difference is the size. For a 32-bit processor, the size is 2 power 32, which is equivalent to 4.2 billion bytes. But whereas for a 64-bit processor, the size is 2 power 64, which is equivalent to 16 billion bytes. So it is very huge amount of size. And the other factor is the memory addressing of a 32-bit and a 64-bit processor. For a 32-bit processor, we restrict our memory addressing up to 4 gigabyte of random access memory. But whereas for a 64-bit processor, it can support greater than 4 gigabytes of RAM. That's the added advantage for 64-bit processor. And the next thing is calculation speed. A 32-bit processor can calculate 2 integers of 32 bits, whereas a 64-bit processor calculates 2 integers of 64-bit as well as it can also do the operations of 32-bit processor. This is the advantage. This is another advantage. And the next difference is the operating system support. Basically, computer hardware and software can come in 32-bit and 64-bit versions of Microsoft. But the difference is the way it handles the memory. A 32-bit processor can handle up to 2 power 32, which is equivalent to 4 gigabytes. That's why the memory addressing has been restricted up to 32 for 32-bit is up to 4 gigabytes. But for a 64-bit processor, it is up to 16 exabytes of memory. It is 4 billion times more memory than 32-bit memory, which is huge memory, which is virtually unlimited. And these are effectively used in the banking sectors, graphical designing, and many other things. But how does they work? What makes the difference is that their working strategies. In a 32-bit, some data is stored into the slower hard disk and retrieved whenever they are required. But in a 64-bit processor, it can have huge memory so that directly it will retrieve the data from its RAM. In this way this works. So we will now check the configuration of our system, whether it is a 64-bit operating system or 32-bit operating system. For that, we need to go to my computer and you must open control panel of your system. In that, you will be finding an option called System and Security. In that System and Security, you'll be having the configuration and details. So click on that and open System subheading. And that you will be finding view amount of RAM and processor speed. Click on that and your configuration will be appeared on the screen. So my system type is 64-bit operating system with